Now let's get started. Let's get started with the electoralism stuff, particularly France. Got le direct. So here, hold on. I actually have to full screen this, I think. For l'essentiel. Give me the essential stuff. All right. Législative 2024. La campagne du nouveau Front Populaire est lancée. La CGT appelle à voter pour le NFP. So this is for the upcoming elections in France that are happening in just under 2 weeks. The campaign for the new Popular Front has started, and the CGT, that's the Federal French Union, that's like the imagine like the labor bureau in the U.S. like has called for people to go and vote for the Popular Front. No, I will not nickname Spinarak. Yes, the essential stuff. So the campaign has started. The French unions are urging people to vote for the left bloc, which makes perfect sense, both from a perspective of the union's interests and from the interests of just people in general in France. Oh, and I got 69,000 channel points. Very nice. Literally nice. The funny number. You love to see it. Anyway, if we continue here, la CGT appelle les salariés, retraités et privés d'emploi à aller voter le plus nombreux et nombreuses possible le 30 juin et 7 juillet pour le programme du nouveau Front Populaire. And that's a quote. Translate to English, it reads, the CGT calls on salary workers, which also means wage workers in French, retirees, and private employers to go vote in as large of numbers as possible on the 30th of June and the 7th of July for the program of the new Popular Front. And then we continue here. Dans un communiqué publié ce mardi, le Comité confédéral national de la CGT appelle à faire barrage à l'extrême droite en soutenant la coalition des forces de gauche. So, in a communique published this Tuesday, so that's today actually, le comité, I just defaulted back to French again, I'm very sorry. The National Confederal Committee of the CGT, which is like the National Board of Unions, called to make a massive barrage on the far right by supporting the coalition of the left. So basically, vote for the left to put all the pressure that you can on the far right to make them lose, and you know, all that. And that they're saying this from the top level, like trying to get people out to vote. Whirlwind. Do I care about that? I don't think I do. Infestation. I do care about that. I think it's better than constrict, honestly. That's better than string shot. That's probably better than absorb. Well, definitely better than absorb. Hitty Ursa. Switch to Gligar, I guess. Why not? I got... Wow, that's a lot of money. And you evolved into Pidgeotto. So, next paragraph. À l'initiative de Julia Cagé et plusieurs membres de la société civile, un meeting de soutien au nouveau Front Populaire a été organisé lundi 17 juin à Montreuil. Le rassemblement a été l'occasion de nombreuses prises de parole empreintes d'espoir et d'un affichage de la logique d'union, comme celle de Michel Zemmour, Sophie Binet, Benoît Hamon ou encore Manès Nadel. At the initiative of Julia Cagé, this person's name, and more members of the civil society, referring to, I believe, the union here, a meeting of support for the new Popular Front has been organized, for Monday the 17th of June at in Montreuil. This is a town or a city, I guess, in France. The meeting was the occasion for numerous prise de parole, hopeful speeches. Yeah, there we go. That's what that means. And sort of showing of the logic of the union, if that doesn't quite translate super well to English. Well, that's the most direct translation according to Google. Okay. Like that of Michael Zemmour, Sophie Binet, Benoit Hamon, and Manes Nadal. These are all union officials, presumably. So, they're clearly organizing to get people out there. Les mobilisations contre l'extrême droite ont rassemblé des centaines de milliers de personnes partout en France. Et les appels se multiplient dans le monde du sport, la culture ou du web pour faire barrage au Rassemblement National. Now, this is the place where I hope everybody gets kind of hope-pilled. Remember, do not lose jope. The mobilizations against the far right has gathered hundreds of thousands of people throughout France. These calls have multiplied even in the world of sports, the world of popular culture, and online to do a veritable political barrage against the RN, the far right party. So it's not just the unions that are getting involved in this and that want people to turn out to combat the far right. It's also media personalities and sportscasters. These are not people who very frequently weigh in on politics. They might have some sort of light touch in election years. Certainly there are celebrity endorsements that happen in the United States during election years, but this must be really important if they're getting web personalities, media personalities from sports channels, things that people who are not super politically engaged watch, and like pop culture icons to all coalesce against the far right. Even if they don't 100% agree with the left, it seems that they've created a very strong platform of opposing the far right, which is good. What Pokemon did I just catch? It was Carvana, okay. Probably gonna get rid of Spinarak. Spinarak's not that good. And then it continues here. Les 557 candidatures du nouveau Front Populaire ont été déposées dimanche. 229 circonscriptions reviennent à la France insoumise dans l'Hexagone, 175 au PS, 92 aux écologistes, et 50 aux communistes. So basically, the Popular Front has coalesced and split up each of the constituencies and said, okay, you will be our party in this constituency, you will be the party here, here, and here. So in all those constituencies, only one left party is running so that they don't split the vote, which is a very strategically intelligent decision, I think. Because that way, instead of there being the Socialist Party and the Communist Party and the Greens and whoever else, it's just one party. Maybe it's the Green Party, maybe it's the Communist Party, maybe it's the Socialist Party or something else, but they're all part of the same bloc and they have the same platform. So you don't get that kind of disorganized sort of scattershot that you saw actually in 2022 during the presidential elections. And that can sometimes be characteristic of like maybe one of the flaws even of a multi-party system is that you get a lot of vote splitting among ideologically somewhat similar candidacies and campaigns. Not to say that doesn't happen in a two-party system as well. It's just something to be aware of. And then the last paragraph. This is significant for me to then elaborate on why I think the left bloc has a really good chance of winning this election. Contorsion sur les retraites, baisse la TVA remise à plus tard, rigueur budgétaire, Jordan Bardella lève le voile sur un programme qui vise à rassurer les marchés financiers et non à répondre aux enjeux de pouvoir d'achat. So, contortion, is that what that means? Yeah, contortion of retirement, basically defunding pensions, lowering the, what is this? What is TVA? VAT. Okay, VAT tax. Lowering the VAT tax, budgetary rigor, which I assume just means like austerity, like budget like spending cuts, which is how the term is used in the US as well. Jordan Bardella, who is a spokesperson, I believe, for the RN, the far right party, is sort of raising the veil on a or unveiling a program which seeks to reassure people who are interested in the financial markets, but not to respond to the challenges that French people are facing with their buying power, their purchasing power. That's basically the French equivalent of the inflation talking points in the United States. Basically, the left party has decided on their platform being, look, we're here to fund these social services. We're here to put the public investment back into the public, because look at what the far right is doing. They're doing the same neoliberal shit that we all hate Emmanuel Macron for. And that's why you shouldn't vote for them. You should vote for us. We're going to safeguard your pensions. We're going to put the social spending back into these essential services. We're going to, raise the VAT tax and all sorts of progressive tax proposals and stuff like that. The far right will not. They're going to do nothing for you. And that's the kind of campaign that tends to get people to vote for you, especially in a country that's been so ravaged by austerity politics for the past fucking, 50 years almost? 40, 50 years at this point? So whatever the polling says, I think the Popular Front has a pretty good shot at winning and making some real like positive change here. You know, the certainly the polls have said, oh, the RN is gonna like get the RN is gonna get like 30% of the vote, and the left bloc is only gonna get 28 or something. But I think that those numbers can be pretty misleading for various reasons, many of them having to do with the nature of polling, how a lot of it ends up being like glorified clickbait, and how it's a lagging indicator, etc., etc. But ultimately, a lot of this hinges on that lagging indicator part, where the more time goes on, the worse the far right looks, because their platform is just austerity and also we're racist. Meanwhile, the left platform is anti-austerity, overtly. It is a straightforwardly social democratic platform with maybe a little bit of socialism sprinkled in there as well. And, obviously things have moderated, like the parties have had to moderate and sort of compromise to be able to form this coherent bloc, but ultimately that makes for a much stronger platform that is less likely to be sabotaged or undermined. And it's still a very, very easy selling point against the far right. I don't think I want revenge. I'm decently fast. I'm going to be outspeeding most stuff anyway, as Zangoose. You're going to be outspeeding stuff too, so I do want this. Got Sonic Boom. Acrobatics? Fuck yes, this is such a good move. Forget quick attack. Twister? Nah. Don't really care for that. But yeah, that's what's what in France. I'm feeling pretty optimistic about the upcoming elections. Macron is going to lose, and I think the far right isn't going to win. I think this is the left is at least going to have a big enough wedge to drive policymaking in France, even if no party gets like a majority in the legislature. And certainly I'm hoping for for the fine folks in France, whatever we meme about them, that they don't have to like suffer through the blight of austerity for very much longer. Ice Fang. Ooh, I like that. You get rid of rage. Boros. Try Micro. Okay, cool. 1,160. Alright, I have 5,000. Not bad. Wonder if Opium will vote the same as the other smart French people for voting left. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. Because like I said, the whole French left is coalesced into this Popular Front, right? I don't think there's any left parties that are not part of it, really. No significant ones, anyway. And, you know, I can't see opium voting for, like, what? The far right? Like, nah, I don't think they'd do that. Spooky route, course route, course route. That'd be quite the turn of events. Yeah, my goals are beyond your understanding. Average left person going to the polls to vote for the far right. Not a thing that frequently happens, except when there are no left options available. What you've described there, that hypothetical, that's what'll happen when you skip a few streams of Y2K. Yeah, that's true. Missed 3 streams. You're now on the far right. Sorry. But actually, like, what you described there with people, like, people who would otherwise be on the left suddenly having far-right sympathies, that is very unlikely to happen in a situation like this, precisely because there is an option for left-leaning people in the form of the Popular Front. You know, a lot of the left parties are in that bloc. Where it's more likely to happen is somewhere like Germany, where there isn't a real left-wing option. I've talked briefly about German electoral politics before. Germany's fucking cooked. Like, it is so jover for Germany. Like, if you're in France, do not lose joke. Better things are possible. But for Germany, it's pretty jover. Because there are no left parties. The best that you can feasibly get in Germany would be the Social Democratic Party. And they're not on the left anymore. They have long since really moved towards the center, and they're now basically just the center liberal party. In fact, a lot of their policy making, the Social Democrats in Germany, have been pretty reminiscent of Macron's policy making, with like some reliance on austerity politics. And all the other parties in Germany are either austerity liberals or the far right. There's like a couple austerity, like liberalism sort of parties, and then most of the other parties are conservative and far right parties, including one that specifically formed out of disaffected former left-wing voters who like got so radicalized and disillusioned and alienated from social democracy, from the Social Democratic Party, that they created some kind of party that's like, I don't know what it's called. Germany political parties. I would know it when I see it. Legislature. It's not Die Linke. Die Linke is not a real party. They're kind of a joke. Yeah, here we go. BSW. The Bundessache Wagenknecht. Shoutouts to German for being incredibly difficult to... Yeah, look. Political position, left wing, social conservatism. Fucking what? This is a Nazgul party. This is the party that a lot of disaffected leftists, like formed, former social democratic and like communist voters split and formed this party. Because if I go back here, what are the left wing options here? These guys are not center left. They're basically at the center. They haven't done like some meaningful social democratic reforms in quite some time. They're mostly like centrist libs now. These guys are cozying up to the far right. These guys are cozying up to the far right. These guys are a fucking joke. The Green Party in Germany. These guys are austerity liberals. These guys are literally Nazis. These guys are a fucking joke. Ineffective political party. These guys are Nazguls. These guys are fucking... I don't even think these guys are relevant, but it looks like they are... Yeah, look. 1 seat. Great, thank you. And then all these other parties don't matter either. Look at all the... Look at how many the seat distribution is. This is the only quote-unquote left-wing option. And even then, they're not very left. What my bro votes for? Volt? Volt Germany. Social liberalism, pro-Europeanism, European federalism. Well, they're not literally Nazis. However, these kinds of people, let's take a look at their platform. Social liberalism, progressivism, pro-Europeanism. Okay. Pro-Europeanism, progressivism, maybe not as much. Pro-Europeanism, potentially. This right here, this blurb that says social liberalism, the Dutch version. Yeah. These are the kinds of people that if they're left in power for too long, they create the crisis that Nazis then capitalize on. These guys are responsible for the kinds of, well, maybe not these guys specifically, but this ideology, all the parties that have the social liberal ideology of like, status quo politics, cutting back on spending and all that, they are responsible for the crises that produce parties like the BBB, like the PVV, like AFD, like the RN, like all the far-right parties that are currently super active in Europe right now. So while voting for them is not literally voting for Nazis, it's like, it's creating the conditions that create Nazis, if that makes sense, right? And this is why the far right is so prevalent in Germany, is because this is the only other option. Your options are the far right or the conditions that produce the far right. But in the Netherlands and in France, you have options that aren't that. You have viable left parties. Well, it's just a bunch of social liberals from the past who time traveled to get a second try. Now I get it. Yes, that's absolutely right. Whenever you think of social liberals, you can think of that. Anyways, I'm such a fucking nerd for electoral politics. God help me. I know I should be talking about other stuff too, because electoralism isn't the whole game. It's only like very small part of the game. But you know, I can't help it. My brain sees numbers and colors, and I get activated. That's why I fucking keep going back to Wikipedia for this shit. Let's get, I actually kind of like the team that I have right now. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to these guys for a little while. Greenlink's PVDA and Party van de Dieren. What up, comrade? What's up, woke CIA drone pilot? Welcome to chat, and thank you for the follow a couple days ago. Yes, that's right. That's what I meant when I said that there's a viable left option in the Netherlands. Because that coalition of left parties exists, then you're not going to experience the same political situation that you have in Germany. You might, in fact, at some point experience something similar to France, where the left bloc has to like coalesce and resurge against the far right. You know, so basically, you know, to reiterate, do not lose hope. Better things are possible when there are viable left options. Not from the perspective of them, like, fixing everything or whatever, just because that gives you breathing room to like, get started, basically. If that makes sense. Wait, there's more stuff over here.